Fantastic, Bob. Thank you. And I know today's a red letter day, and you guys have something that you're probably going to be speaking to here before long, so I'll not take any of your thunder there, but I will say welcome to everyone who's joined us. And I think we maybe are going to have some comments from some of our legislative group. I'm not sure if Representative McNair has joined us. Can you see from your end, Bob?
I do not see he has, and he said he would. So let's see, Representative McNair and Senator Flippo will join about 3:15 or 3:20.
Okay. Well, at this point, I'll turn it over to you and let you take it from here. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks very much, sir. Here's our agenda for today, and we're going to start out with Dr. Pratt. Scott and Ron will join a little bit later. So let's go to Dr. Pratt.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Well, we're off and rolling and really, really proud of our staff and our parents, our community. We appreciate the support, man. I mean, everybody has bought in and listening. We're wearing our masks. We're doing our distancing. We're doing the things that we need to do. And if someone is sick, they're communicating with us very well and communicating and saying, hey, I'm going to keep them home today. I think we've got something going on with my child. So that's keeping our school district rolling. And that's what we want, is keep moving forward and everybody just working together. So let me give you a quick update. Our enrollment's hanging about 2732, which is up from last year. Total enrollment, which is good. Offsite and onsite is being very fluid as parents choose to move offsite because they're maybe a little nervous, or maybe they've got taken care of an elderly family member and they've chose that method. And then others are coming back to school as normal. So that's being very fluid, and that's difficult for us, but that's okay. We're going to handle that. But we got families moving back and forth. We have very low number of COVID send homes. Most of them are due to the fact that they've got a parent or a uncle that came and visited, and they were in a second layer of close contact. And so we're working with the health department on that to make sure that we're doing all the right things, but very, very few. And I want to stop there for a second. I'm going to explain. And I'm having a public meeting on Thursday at 6:30. That'll be on our website. If you want to log in, you can. But we're not going to discuss how many cases we have unless it's more than 10. And here's why. Because when we do that, it's very identifiable. And we believe that breaks HIPAA laws. And so we're not going to do that. It's easy to track down who's not here and figure out who's absent due to COVID. And we don't want to do that. So we will be communicating specific numbers once our caseload gets above 10. But since we haven't done that, then the message is we haven't had that many. So I hope everybody understands that, and will follow along with that. And again, I can't say enough for our community and our parents. They've just been tremendous. We've had 5 solid days. We're getting ready to, buses are running right now. So we've had 5 really solid days with great support, great communication from families in our community. Next slide, please. Athletics, we want to talk about that a little bit. So right off the bat, I'm going to apologize for last Friday night. That's a Stuart Pratt fault, and you can blame me. We were playing at Little Rock Christian, but we were playing a school that's in southern Arkansas, and they were not bringing a film crew. We were not bringing a film crew, and we thought we had a film crew there. Ended up being a scam. Many of our good patrons got online and found out they needed to submit a credit card to watch the TV game. And then once they submitted the credit card, it was fraud alerts came from their banks. So again, we apologize. We didn't mean to promote that. We thought it was legitimate. Everything that we had it investigating wise it was legit, but it was not. And we will have video links through Gob TV of every game from now on, because we're not allowed to have a full stadium of people. We can only run about 55% capacity. So we are selling tickets online, and we're selling to students, parents of students who are playing first, and we have a tier system, and then the general public is last. So if we run out of tickets, you want to log into Gob TV and watch the game, and we'll definitely have those links out there for everyone. But please be graceful with us. We can't. It's not something I can control. The health department says 50%. AAA says 50%. There's no passes. It's everybody pays for a ticket, and if you have a ticket, you get in. If you don't have a ticket, and we're not selling any, you can't get in. You have to watch it on your phone, iPad, or a device at home. So with that, I want to also say that if you're attending the game and you get to come to the game, please follow our guidelines on social distancing. You can clump together in families, but the next family, you need to have a good space, and we have the bleachers marked. Make sure that you're wearing your mask. We want to keep having football games. And then, of course, hand washing and hygiene. Bring some little bottle of hand sanitizer with you, and try not to be touching people and handshaking and fist bumping. Give them the old air handshake, air fist bump. Next slide, please. Probably just some grace again and some support. Activities is really struggling because band, choir, theater, art, and some of our clubs, the restrictions are much more tight as it is compared to football and volleyball right at this point. It's literally almost impossible to have choir and band. So anyway, be supportive. Let them know that we're thinking about them, and we still care about band and choir, theater, art, and all the clubs activities. Remember, when kids are engaged, their academics succeeds very well. We know that. That's tons of research on that. So we want kids engaged. So keep supporting them. And then transportation, again, more grace. We're down 2 drivers, not due to COVID, but just due to they have underlying health conditions, or they have other issues that are going on in their family, and they just can't drive for us. So we're short on drivers. And that means our bus routes are going a little bit longer and being a little bit slower. So be patient with us. And if you want to drive, we've got a place for you. If you know somebody that wants to drive, we've got a place for you. So next slide, please. Again, can't say enough for our community. We got a great community. The Harrison and Boone County area is just tremendous about academics and our athletics and activities, and because it just shows that Boone County and Newton County families care about kids. So go Gobs, and if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thanks, Stuart. That's a great report, and I hope the mayor was as happy as everybody else. You're doing the right kinds of things, and we'll keep on that path. Thanks so much for sharing that. Is Jeff Cantrell on the call? He was going to try to make it today to talk about the other schools. I see he is not. So let's go into the North Arkansas Regional Medical Center. Sammy, I see you're on.
Yeah, this is Sammy.
Oh, I didn't see you on there, Vince. I'm sorry.
Well, I can't get on with my desktop for some reason today. So
okay. All right.
Anyway, we just have a few slides. Sammy has a couple of things she wants to talk about, but I just got some information from the state a few minutes ago, and it talks about the 14-day moving average for percent of positivity in a county. And it looks like Boone County right now is about 12.4% positivity rating on testing. Interestingly enough, Searcy County is 22.9%, and Newton County is down in the 7% range. So we're seeing an uptick in positive cases here in our community. We're seeing an uptick in, we're having some information that there are nursing homes around us that are having positive cases. So we're going to probably be working our way through that here in the next few weeks. Let's go to the first slide. I believe this is Sammy's slide, but I'll give her the opportunity to talk about it. As you can see on there, there's 107 positive cases in our county right now. and that's active positive cases. So we're seeing it got up to 110 last week, so 107 is about the same. I want to turn this around so she can comment on that.
So what you can see is we're continuing to increase in the number of active cases. I pulled up the Arkansas Department of Health website, if you guys haven't been to it, just to kind of show you a little bit. You can see there's 61,000 cases total in Arkansas. Of those, 5,000 are active. We've had 55,000 recoveries, deaths of 814. And then look at that little graph down on the bottom, the cumulative number of cases by date. So you can see we're continuing to increase. This is information that's available to the public, and then the tabs down at the bottom will show you the COVID-19 total cases, the active cases, and the deaths for each county. So that's a good resource if you have questions or you're kind of curious about where that data is going. As Vince mentioned, we are continuing to see rises across the state. Next slide, please. This is a report that we get each day from the Arkansas Hospital Association. And what it shows is the statewide hospitalizations. And the blue line shows the confirmed admissions. We've looked at this before. And then the pink line is suspected admissions for patients that come in with COVID-like symptoms. And the important thing is that you can see that we did have a slight decrease, and now we are trending up with more suspected and more confirmed admissions. Next slide, please. This is the confirmed admissions by hospital, by region. Particularly of interest were the red line. And so you can again see where we're trending. We're starting to increase those number of midnight admissions. Next slide. So in light of everything that's going on, we're doing some interesting things across the organization to try to keep our staff and our community safe. I'm sure that Dr. Pratt would agree the most important resource that we have is our staff to perform the jobs that we need them to. So we're doing everything we can to keep our staff safe, to keep our patients safe, just like they're doing in the schools to keep the teachers safe, to keep the students safe. So one of the things that we have employed is the Uvc radiation. And so that is a technology that is new. There are some favorable studies out showing that the UVC lights actually kill the COVID-19 virus. So we're able to use that as an additional layer of sanitization in the rooms and in the hospital setting. So we're excited to have that as a resource for our staff in the hospital setting. And we also have mobile units that we're able to put in our ambulances to ensure that patients are safe when they're coming to us in an emergent event. Next slide, please. So in light of everything that we're doing, we're talking a lot about COVID throughout the organization. We're hearing the term used, COVID fatigue. And so we're trying to remind everybody that as much as we're accepting this as part of daily life, that we also need to be vigilant in what we're doing. So we took the approach to send this out to our staff and have them take a voluntary pledge, just as a reminder of the things that we need them to do to help keep everyone safe. So I put this out there. You guys are welcome to use it. I encourage you to take it to your organizations, apply it as appropriate, encourage them to continue to wear the mask, frequent hand hygiene, social distancing, avoid large groups, stay home if you're sick. These things that we all know are very important, but they're so easy to fall back in our routine and not recognize how important these things are to protecting the health of our community. I think that is the end of the slides. Yeah, so the only thing that I wanted to kind of add, Vince mentioned that they reported for Boone County a positivity rate of 12.2%. We look at our positivity rate each day, and yesterday's positivity rate was about 14.3%. So we're continuing to see an increase in positivity. We are testing a fair number of individuals. We are able to get testing supplies. We have not been successful in getting more of the rapid screens from the state, but our turnaround with our vendor is within 24 to 48 hours. So we're doing really good with that. So if you have specific questions about testing, I'm happy to answer those. I know there's a lot of information out there, and that seems to be what everybody has questions about. But that concludes my report unless you have specific questions.
Thanks, Sammy. Vince, do you have some additional comments?
Just in closing, tell Stuart to up his insurance, and I'll be right out there to drive.
Oh, my Lord. We need to call the police. All right. That's fair. Thank you. I really like the pledge as I was putting the charts together earlier this afternoon. I think that's a neat idea. If anybody would like a copy of this to put your logo on it, we'll be happy to get it for you. Just let me know, or I'll reach out to Sammy and she'll get it to you as well. Thanks very much, guys, for doing that. Okay, Joan Bell. I know you're on, Joan.
I am. Really, all of our Main Street businesses, small businesses around, we're all just staying open, staying as safe as we can. Really nothing new to report during these last couple of weeks. Business appears to be very good from our retail crew that as they report back. So there was a little bump with school going back. I think everyone was kind of excited, maybe got a new outfit or two. So that's really all there is to report. Otherwise, we're moving along in the right direction, trying to stay as safe as possible.
That's great news. Questions for Joan and the Main Street business team? Okay, thanks, Joan. All right, Jimmy Lewitt and Joe Olson. Jimmy, I know that you're on. I really do know that you're on. I saw you.
Hey, Bob, this is Joe Olson. I don't know if
Oh,
Jimmy's
Joe,
on,
good.
but I'd like to yield my time to the senator, please.
Okay, that's good. He is not yet joined, but he will shortly. I appreciate that.
Very good. We're good, Bob. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thanks so much. All right, nonprofits. Bill?
There we go. Kind of like Joan, things are just kind of going along. People are being safe. Not really hearing a lot of problems. People, I think, are just resigned to the fact that this is what we need to do, and they're doing it. As far as the nonprofit side, I know that ourselves and Harrison Housing and Ozark Opportunities have received some funding through the Emergency Solutions Grant. One of them actually kicked in yesterday. And so, like for House of Hope, we have funding available to help with things like shutoffs and evictions, and starting in what was that? Sorry, those two, and also with rentals and deposits if somebody is literally homeless and they're trying to get in. So they just need to call 704-8077 and make an appointment. That's all I got, unless there's any questions.
Okay, thanks very much, Bill. That's great. Let's go to Matt Bell. No updates.
There you go.
Oh, there he is.
Hear me
Good.
now? Sorry about that. No new updates. I will say that restaurants have rebounded significantly, and our hotels continue to rebound a little bit. So aside from that, we are pursuing, and when I say we being the Arkansas Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, we are pursuing some CARES Act funding from the state of Arkansas for our hotels and restaurants that are still being impacted. So hopefully I'll have news on what we're actually going after, the dollar amount and those sorts of things next meeting.
Good, Matt. Thank you very much. That's a good report. Gwen Hoffman for the finance team.
Hello, how are y'all? We'll start out today with the IRS had issued guidance on the optional payroll tax deferral. Keywords there is optional deferral, and that's of the employee payroll taxes. It needs to be understood that if you defer now, that you will have to collect and pay that next year by April 30th. But there are guidelines they have just issued regarding that. Personal income resumed growth in July, and it rose after falling in June. And then the personal savings rate of disposable personal income was up 17.8%. Those that are able to save out of that percentage, 50% of folks are trying to save more, just not knowing how the next few months are going to go. So savings is on everyone's mind at the moment as far as personal accounts. Consumer sentiment rises slightly. That is the statistical measurement and economic indicator of the overall health of the economy by consumer opinion. That figure is 17.5 points below 2019, which is understandable, but it is increasing. So that is where that stands. A quote regarding that one, main part of that is the gains we've seen will significantly slow by year end without some additional fiscal spending programs to diminish the hardships. So those that are feeling it are still feeling it and are afraid they may continue to be affected by that by the end of the year. The short version of that, consumers are still getting, we're getting increased cash as of July, but we're spending less and we're very concerned about the future. Regarding foreclosures, FHFA and FHA, that was set to expire on August 31st, but that has been extended to May 31st. Also, I believe that some other government-backed entities regarding CDC and I think related to HUD, they are actually also asking for that moratorium to be extended regarding evictions. Mortgage rates fall again on that, which means in 2019 it was 3.58. This week it's 2.9 for a 30-year fixed. And then on the 2019 was 3.06, and right now it's currently 2.46. And then pending home rises for the third straight month on that. So July was up again in the pending home rate. And I believe that's about all I have there.
Okay, good, thanks. I just got a note, Jim Blackwell, you're on the call, but I got a note that the infrastructure team doesn't have any updates. So I think customers for Energy and Black Hills and Windstream and our other utilities are all, I think the utilities are really working with the public. It seems like some feedback that we're getting. So that's very, very helpful. Any questions for Jim or Dottie?
I will say that going back to the moratorium, they are encouraging folks, if you can pay anything, to please do so. Show that effort. If you're not showing that effort, it will affect that moratorium on you.
This is Shonda. I just have to add to Gwen, and I apologize. The CDC has issued the public health order in regards to that. The eviction moratorium will now go until December 27th. And what I'll do is I'm going to send out a summary and I'll send it to Bob and Wilson, if you can forward it to everybody. And then it's also going to go to the Landlords Association and the Harrison Board of Realtors, because it affects all landlords, not just those with federal assistance now.
Okay. Hey, Gwen, I've got a question also for Dottie and Jim. I think I on the previous slide, and I think under Windstream it said no shutoffs, and I was from them on how they handle. Does that mean you haven't shut anybody off since the beginning of COVID?
That is
what that means is that, like Gwen just reiterated there, I mean, if you're just now, obviously, if there's no communication, I can't tell you if there's not been anyone, but the key to it is communication. As long as you're communicating and trying and making an effort, absolutely not. They are working with each customer on an individual basis.
Okay. How about you, Jim?
Yeah, we're on hold right now. We cannot suspend any service, so we have not. We have been in communication with people, encouraging them to pay, but as of right now, we have not suspended anybody, and it's going to get interesting. But no suspensions right now, and it's, I think, on hold for an extended period right now.
Okay, thank you.
Good. And any other questions for the team here? All right. Let me jump to Daniel. Are you on? Daniel Boland. I know that the judge is away from the office. He'll be back shortly. Terry Crow, you're on Valley Springs. What's happening down south?
Well, no real update for us there, Bob. Thanks for asking, but not really anything to report.
You got a new school superintendent down there, so things are rolling in a new building, right?
Well, we do. That's great. And matter of fact, we're going to have a new sign or two. He sent me a message, and so we're going to try to get some flashing signs, I believe, and they're going to do some more cleanup. So yeah, things are looking favorable, you might say.
Hey, that's great, and we look forward to helping you do a grand opening, ribbon cutting for your new building shortly. Thanks, Terry.
Thank you.
All right, Jerry.
Yeah, Bob, I'd like to report that sales tax was up 9%. It really wasn't last month. What month was it? It would have been the month of June. We just received those figures last week. But have a 9% increase was phenomenal. We never expected anything like that. We really believe that unemployment dollars has really been helping, push a lot to Walmart. Walmart is 25% of taxable revenue in Harrison. That's amazing. The one firm would do 25% of the business. Also, you're going to be seeing road work start this next week. There's going to be some overlaying done in the highway, probably from Walmart on, and then there's some other road work back down by Taco Bell going to be happening. And then you might see a short break, and then the real big road work will start. Bid's supposed to be going out in November. So right after that, you'll see a lot. We've been working on that kind of off of the streets for the last 6 months, but you'll start seeing the street work at Wendy's at that corner. Another big item we had last Thursday night was the public safety building became final. And even though we planned and talked and done a lot of things, it really didn't happen until we signed the documents to borrow some money. And we borrowed $4.5 million. The whole project is going to be $8.5 million. We're going to have a cutting, not a ribbon cutting, but a groundbreaking next Wednesday at 10 a.m. at the site on Industrial Park Road. One of the great things, folks, about borrowing the money, I don't know if you heard, but we got 1.78% on a 12-year note. So we never expected anything that low. I think we got lucky and hit it at the low. So that was great news. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Mayor, that's great news on the certainly on the rate. If you'd like to pass that on to everybody else on the call, that would be most appreciated. And we look forward to the groundbreaking with your new headquarters here next week. This is the thing I think that we need to keep in the forefront of our minds. Public health and pro-business cannot be separated. They can't be compromised. This is important. You've heard from Vince and Sammy today and understand that cases continue to rise. It should be worrisome to us. And even with a good report from Stuart Pratt today, that's just fantastic news. Everybody needs to keep their fingers crossed, but more importantly, pray that continues to hold and we continue to make headway. We appreciate everything that everyone does. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to our next call in 2 weeks. Thanks very much. Have a great day.